Biscuits and tea.
Think hard, think clear, and think fast. Biscuits and tea. Will John's going to kick us off.
EPSTEIN are allowed to just hit at that ball without a challenge, and then the driven shot! What a goal!
Boom! Hey, welcome back, B team. Want to direct your attention, put it on the docket. Paulus, will you pull up this clip for us? I don't know if you guys have probably seen this. Have you guys seen this?
Yes, this is hilarious. One of the best TikToks I've seen.
It's so fucking. I didn't see, it was on Tyrese, so I started following the dude. Can we get some sound on this, please?
Oh, is this from the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
They're all the reps.
A laser beam dropped. Mahomes.
It hits him in the head. Hits him in the face. This is the best one. Woo! Oh, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, it just made me think, because I didn't watch the game. I don't think, have we talked publicly about my dream?
No, you made a
don't think we
made an
have.
Instagram comment about your prediction. I'm glad I didn't know about it before going to the game, because I would have been so upset and depressed.
Oh, I know. Oh, I mean, yeah, so for all right, just to give quick context in this, because this is not what today's podcast is about a week to 10 days before the Super Bowl, I had a dream that the Bucks won 30-7. The only image of the dream was essentially a slow motion of Tom Brady with his hands up, with his helmet off in the Bucks jersey. I don't know what number he is. Don't really remember that. And it just said 30-7 there. I woke up and I felt depressed. I was fucking sad. And I knew that it was like, oh, this is like one of those dreams that's like probably going to be true. But I didn't want to say anything about it or talk about it. And then I figured I had to document it in case something happened. And then for the people that don't care about American football, the score ended up being 31-9. So the statistical probability of me even getting that close is
no one expected that to happen.
Do you know
phenomenal.
How much money you could have made if you put just like the Bucks as 9-point favorites and you bought 9 points for them?
Gosh.
You would have had like 15-1
We should
odds.
calculate.
It would.
I
don't
it
know
should
what
be.
I don't know what it was set up at, but they were 3-point underdogs. So, dude, you would have. I mean, that would have been like 15-20 to 1 odds.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So at least we'll check it out, B team. But yeah, there's absolutely no way I could have bet against my city like that. I would have felt ridiculous. I felt already bad. I didn't tell anyone about it until just Daisy, the 2 days before the game. I just put it on there and, you know.
Yeah, you should have, like, if you have another dream like that, but it's against the Chiefs, you should actually make the bet and then just take whatever you win and, like, donate it to something that, like, is against Tom Brady or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Next. Totally. All right. Yeah. Next time I have, I mean, it's not the first time it's happened. I did also predict, I had a friend that wanted to bet on the Champions League final. Grimsley wanted to bet and he called me before. And I know. I don't. I've done it.
It's all that meditation you're doing. It's all that satanic shit you're doing.
It's exactly satanic meditation. It's all you trying to calm down with your breath. That satanic shit. Spoken like a perfect Christian straight out of the Midwest. Yeah, you know that satanic. So funny. You know, you meditate, that satanic stuff. Jesus said.
Literally, people believe that, man. People down the street from me believe that shit. They literally believe that. So, all right, well, what's this about today? What do you got?
All right, guys. So this is a bombshell. So originally, we wanted to tell you guys all about cults. I wanted to tell you, and not cults, okay? And I started doing some digging, and in the research, in my second dig doing the review, after I'd already pulled things up, I realized that it is quite possible that the B team here could, what do you call that when you release a story? Or like when you we could breaking. I'm telling you right now, the European Epstein just got caught, and he just got sentenced to 1,000 years in jail, and no one's talking about it.
Why?
And the reason, exactly. It's one of the same reasons. Dude's bumping with some interesting folks. He's all right. So, Paulus, please pull up. The guy's name is Adnan Oktar. He's from Turkey. If you can pull up, there's a video clip with specific. So this is the guy. You see these. His name's Adnan Oktar. He refers to these girls. Yeah, exactly. Because they are actually from the same place.
Okay.
That's why they're both Turkish.
Gotcha.
But these ladies that you see next to him, he calls them his kittens. They're referred to as his kittens, and he has a whole truckload of them, if you say, and they all look essentially the same.
It's called a litter.
Yeah. He has a litter of kittens. They all look like this, more or less blonde. Everybody's has a decent amount of plastic surgery, and you can't see their faces because of the sunglasses.
Great sunglasses.
So if you could, agreed, you've got those classic Mahomes sunglasses. But like, if you could go ahead and pull up, we'll come back to this thing here because there's just one thing I want you guys to see. But go to the video, please, of that we set up here. This is so he has a show every week. He had a show every week. The story is going to end up sad. So we can have fun right now, but it's going to end up sad.
I'm like laughing about the kittens, and I'm just waiting for myself to feel really, really gross about laughing about this.
Yeah. No, we'll get it. We'll get you there, but let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, guys. before I tell you what was really going on behind the curtain. So enjoy it while you can. There's a clip of his show because he would have a show every week, and he would invite on different guests to talk about. He's Muslim and the Islamic world, and he would have these people on, and they would discuss is the religion, is it against women, essentially, and what are these things that they can do? Now, he was the first person to bring creationism, which you guys are all very well aware of as Americans. Creationism is the idea that there is a creator. Evolution did not happen. It did not happen.
I'm not too familiar with that because we actually had a decent education over here in Virginia.
In DC? Oh, in Virginia. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Kansas, that is a big stain on our education part, but it's been changed. We fought against it, Tyler, and evolution is
I learned about evolution. I didn't learn about it though until I was like in 7th grade though. Like I didn't know about evolution until 7th grade.
Yeah, so he brought that. The Europeans, and especially specifically apparently France, did not have any sort of creationist thought in their world. Now, he's going to go ahead and play this clip here. This is before you play it, don't play it just yet. You guys can go ahead and see. So what you're looking at are the kittens. Okay. This is a show. The lady you're seeing that's dressed normally that doesn't look like a kitten, she is a Vice reporter. And this went viral because obviously you can see it says feminist cult. But she is there to interview. She wanted to interview the women. And what ended up happening is they kept dodging, and they wouldn't let her talk to the girls about what's actually going on at the cult and stuff like that. So go ahead and just play this next, I think it's 15 seconds of the video. This is during the show. Yeah.
That's
Pause it.
That's exactly what I would expect to be going on in this situation. But there is American TV that does this. There's a couple day shows that I've seen when I was in the hospital with the kidney stones. Like you'd see TV you never see before because you're just laying in bed. I saw something like this and I was freaked out. I was like, there's no way that people in America on channel fucking 6 every day are watching this. That's cultish behavior. So I'm interested to see what you have to say about these fucking people on this show.
Yeah,
tell us. I want to know where all these people are that are into those like lips. Yeah, the the Botox. I want to know who is into that. Like who looks at that? And is like, oh, this is good. This is good.
That's a great question because I actually don't think that it's the male side interested in that. I think it might have been an attempt at the female side to accentuate what is supposed to be something that's attractive to men, and then women started outdoing it themselves. I don't think Now, I'm not saying men didn't play a role in being like bigger boobs, bigger ass, bigger everything, that whole thing. But I think that they're trying to outdo each other, Tyler. And I think in that sense.
Have you ever heard one of your friends talk about a girl and ever mention her lips?
No.
And like, oh, she's got great lips.
Well,
yeah. Such huge
I'll
lips.
play devil's advocate. I think, some women have nicer lips than others. And sometimes they're a nice shade and they look softer than other people's lips. Sometimes women have very thin lips. And I find myself not approaching women with thin lips. Maddie has very nice lips.
Yeah.
And I appreciate them. So,
yeah.
In your opinion on lips, Tyler?
yeah. No, I think. I mean, you're not wrong, but that's the thing, though. You're not wrong. Like having bigger lips, like to a certain degree, is better than having no lips. There's a YouTuber in our space who has no lips and doesn't have the ability to smile.
That's tough.
I don't know if you guys. Yeah. So.
I mean, Tyler, would you
maybe
would it be a game over if someone had thin lips, or are you a thin lip kind of guy? It's okay if you like thin lips.
I've never even noticed. It's not even something I've don't think I've ever been in a situation where that's like played a factor into one of my decisions is
Tyler,
how a girl's lips
I like
are.
to like this idea that like Tyler like has never actually kissed a girl before or anything. Like he doesn't do that. He does everything but
because of his
kissing, because he's like, that's just a waste of time. So like I don't know, like
because Tyler is the guy that in 5th grade we all talked about cooties and someone never told him that it wasn't real. That's what I would put you at.
No, it was
not doing this.
It was more
cooties are real.
As a kid, it wasn't cooties. It was just girls aren't as much fun as guys. So like, I'd rather go play football, basketball. I'd go outside.
So women can't play sports. Okay.
They can, but I didn't.
Are men better than women?
At what?
At sports?
Say it. Define better.
They're not as fun to play with.
Oh, he's throwing it back on the social.
They're not what?
They're not as fun to play with, is what you said.
Well, they don't play as often. Like it's just. I mean, we'd have girls play with us every now and then, but it's.
Can you imagine being on like CNN and someone like you actually say something wrong like a little bit, and then someone just attacks you like that? That'd be really fucking.
Oh no! All you do is attack them back because most of that is just nonsense. Like what you did is literally what they did stuff like that to Jordan Peterson. Like he's like, no, I didn't. That's not what I mean. But they're like, so what you're saying is that women can't eat food and they'll do that. And like some people are just like, oh, I didn't mean to, and they cower at this this weird leftist insanity.
No, makes sense. I mean, you can go down the flames pretty quickly, but yeah, we got off track there.
No, it's perfectly good. So I just wanted to pull up one other thing. Obviously, the Catholic Church, as many of you, we should have started this off with, is this a cult or not? But or what a cult really means. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Just pull up the definition of cult real quick. I think that's number one. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to bring you guys back into Adnan, the Epstein of Europe. And so here you go. The definition, and I want you guys to pay specific attention, is right there at the beginning. In modern English, a cult is a social group that is defined by its unusual religious, spiritual, or philosophical beliefs, or basically a common interest in some personality or an object or a goal. Okay? That's all it means. So notice that there's no special thing. It's very easy to have a cult.
Yeah.
Anything could almost be a cult.
B-team's a cult.
Yeah, the B team is a cult.
Yeah.
Team Golarami is a cult. Now, the reason we don't say that it necessarily is a cult is because there are other factors that go in to the cults that we know, which is like you have to pledge your undying allegiance. You have to give all of your money. You can't talk to anyone outside of the cult. And the reason we're having this especially is because I don't know what I was watching. It had nothing to do with cults or religion or anything like that. But when was the last time you guys heard of Scientology?
It's been a while.
I just watched a South Park episode on it like 2 days ago.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean in your everyday life.
Every day. It pops up on Reddit a fair amount.
Okay, but Reddit is still the underculture of our world. I mean, yeah. Now
mainstream news,
all the stuff they're doing, it's not
is
really
the most mild thing that's happening ever. Like, it's so not top of mind that it used to be huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Exactly. So they changed the way that they advertise. They figured out that it doesn't work like that. They've lost the brand name. They can't use Scientology. So I don't know what the name was. I took a picture, but I didn't send it in to Paulus. But they have a new brand. They rebranded, and it says stuff like "Open your heart," or "Live fast, don't die young, come in to Scientology."
If you have a religion like Scientology or any religion, and you truly believe that that's the one true religion, how are you going to rebrand? How can you defend that this is the one true religion and you have to go rebrand? You're like, oh, we actually been screwing up, even though we've been saying we've been doing everything that our God has been telling us to do, and it's actually been wrong. So we're going to try something else now.
Perfect segue to get us towards the end of our stuff, because if you obviously the one question that I was going to ask is the Catholic Church a cult? And this guy essentially says no. And the reason he says no, and I'll come back to your point, Tyler, on how you can get around this, but he says no because you can leave. Yeah. You spend an hour there on Sunday and then you leave. And then if you see one of your clergy friends or men out, they just say, hey, and like, I wish you'd come by, but they don't shun you. They don't punish you. They don't do anything. So technically he says, no, it's not. For the most part, you do get shunned, like
in every thing.
For sure. And the Catholic Church is huge. I'd say it has some culty,
100%
attributes. It's got some culty attributes.
I mean, like the drinking of
blood, right,
and eating of a fucking body. That you're like 5 years old trying to learn about the Catholic Bible, and someone's explaining to you that we're drinking the blood of someone. Yeah, it seems a little culty to me.
It is. There's some cultiness to it, and there's probably people here just like, oh, I can't believe it. And it's just like, would you have the same viewpoint on any of the religions that you are in, whatever religion it is, if you didn't get indoctrinated with it when you were a kid? Probably not. It's highly unlikely that you would pick that up, later in life. But I just want to go back to Adnan to end there, because Tyler, you said, how can you rebrand? Well, what can you do? Pull up that original article on Adnan Orker, and I will tell you guys why you should be sad and how you can get out of Tyler's little rebrand right there to finish this off. So I'm going to...
My question wasn't how. I mean, like, I understand they could rebrand, they can try to do this. I'm just saying they should... I would assume they'd want to stick by their guns, that what they're doing is right and what...
Well, they do. You're correct. They blame you, Tyler. Yeah. You can keep scrolling down. Sure, you can keep scrolling down after you zoom in. They blame you. They say you are attacking. So actually scroll all the way down to the comments, and that's what'll take care of us, because they got to us. It's at the very bottom. Now, if you see here, there's a list there. Go down even further. There's one guy that put the list here. So here are his crimes. Now, remind you, he got 1,075 years in jail. Scroll up a little bit more. The up, which is, there you go, stop there. Okay. So, number one, he mocked the senior most religious scholars of Turkey. Anybody who's been to Turkey knows that is a thing you cannot do. He betrayed the state by siding with a coup of plotters. So he pulled Trump, tried a little coup, He danced with semi-nude women. He hurt the sentiments of Turkish religious society. So he was a big fan of, he says that the headdress, you guys know the thing that, they would generally wear. And he said that was wrong. So he was kind of being seen as this like liberator because he wanted women to dress like that. But he says that there's something wrong with you as a Western man because the best that you could do is, and this is their words, the best that women could do in the West is become equal to a man. But they said that the women were actually better.
Okay.
Women were better than men. So that just in case you were wondering. So financial fraud. And then the last one, he had sex with minor girls. And their mothers have now testified in court about that. Now, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. And what is going on is, you'll see here, Tyler, all the people that are defending him, scroll up to the very first comment. By the way, all the I'm an American following this man's work. It's total BS, fabricated stories from beginning to end. His body of work shows nothing but devotion to the creator. Stop the lies. There's a lot of people that are defending this because they are considering it no different than if we actually found out Trump killed somebody. It's British deep state. So he says that Britain is trying to essentially go against him. Now, before you say, Will, that's insane, this is crazy, you will notice that 30 years ago, they pressed charges on this dude, and then they took them away.
Really?
Okay? Why now, out of nowhere, when everyone's known? It's the same as the Epstein case. Everyone has known. Everyone's known. All of a sudden, though, they've decided he's going down.
Yeah.
It's the exact same case. It spreads its web. He's friends with a bunch of high-end politicians, high-end religious people. They all would go to his certain things. They go to his events, and they would partake in stuff at his parties. He also, at first, said that the Holocaust did not happen. And then 10 years later, he said he didn't write the book and that the Holocaust happened. And he's friends with people in Israel. There's more to this story, 100%. And he's involved with high-end politicians and all that shit. So
seems like a whole strategy for getting a bunch of money somehow, and then just getting a bunch of respected people around you, figuring out a way to just leverage your power, and then like just sexually abuse people. Like, is that? I wonder if that was his end goal. I wonder if his end goal was to just be able to, sexually abuse people or have sex whenever he wants with anybody he wants, and that's the level of power he wanted, or if his intentions were completely different at the start, and maybe along the way the power took over. I'm interested in this, like with guys like that or people like that in general. I just wonder what's your initial goal here, and is that what you got to the end or what?
With cult leaders, from like what I was seeing, is sexual abuse is a major part of it. And I think it really it's not as much as like, oh, I want to go have sex. I think it comes into where if you're going to be a cult leader, like you're already obsessed with power and you want as much power as possible. And then sex is just like, it's just another way to just kind of gain power over people or to feel that power over, control over whatever it is.
To answer your question, B, whether or not he started off like that. So he started off in the 80s, in the late 80s with this. So he's been at it for a very long time. And did he just want sex after later? Well, what they found at his house, at the compound, of course, because all these Epstein characters have compounds. What happens is that I think the greater question needs to be, when do they get enough power and then they mesh with the government? Or does it happen early along so that an Epstein character can grow in power? Because it seems hard for me to imagine you can do that for so long without them being, and then you find out, oh, Epstein got convicted in 2008 or whenever. That's the first time I heard about the dude. And then I didn't hear about him until now, So like, what was going on in between? You guys were saying he was an upholding citizen.
Yeah. I just have this like image in my head of like Epstein like getting told to like go get coffee as an intern for like some political figures, and like he just like built his way up as an intern all the way through, and then eventually pulled off this immaculate horrible crime. That's crazy, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's scary to think that like someone that evil can that quickly get involved with people that like we vote for or who hold a lot of responsibility. Like, it's really freaky.
I mean, it takes a weird personality in general to even want to go into politics in that way. Where a lot of these guys, like the few people I know from my high school that went into politics are like the last people you would want to be into politics, which is like no morals, just like nothing. Like they're just almost like blank slates, just like, I'm going to do whatever needs to be done to get as high as I can.
Right. The one thing I didn't say though about his sexual thing, they found 70,000 contraceptives, I think, in like birth control and all that stuff at his compound. 70,000.
What's he preparing for?
And when they questioned him, he said they use it for skin issues and menstrual problems.
Yeah.
So, just an all-out, ridiculously
all my kittens have
awful human being
through birth control.
Yeah.
I mean, I get like some people do that, but like, come on.
I
all
know,
of your
but
kittens,
no. That's
all of
we
your
know
kittens
that.
benefit
Yeah.
from like,
Kittens.
What the fuck, dude? If anybody calls,
Yeah.
they're fucking that. Yeah, everyone should just know this guy's a nutcase if he's going around just publicly calling his girls kittens. That's not appropriate.
Get you a Forrest. Get a Forrest in the B team. Get your merch. Get your stuff down below. We already got the plug for Sport T. Shout out to Morty Fitzgerald Milburn.
Yep, he's right here. We didn't talk about my workout at all, but I have been doing my stuff. I've lost about like 3 to 5 pounds or so just by not drinking soda and shit. So still on track. Gonna be picking it up more.
Let's keep that going.
I'm trying to do 1,000 push-ups next week.
Okay,
1,000 push-ups next week.
All right, I like that.
7 days,
So we got the
So I'll be so sore when I fucking do this next show. I'm gonna be so sore. I'm gonna try to do 1,000. I'll see how many I can do.
I love that. I'll take that challenge with you. I'll do 1,000 with you.
1,000 in 7 days.
I'll do 1,000
starting Monday.
7 days. Yeah. Starting Monday. All right, I can put that in there. So let's do a next segment. We'll do some sort of weird something around the fitness world. We'll do some next segment, something in there. All right, cool. All right, B team out.
Peace.
Yeah.